come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, they can't be any better as we hit the halfway mark. A perfect 7-0 on the year.
And when we looked at this team in August and we looked at the schedule, we thought they had the potential to get off to a hot start, but I don't think either of us expected 7-0.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This one taken from the 7th. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. Center, it'll be the former UCLA Bruin, Josh Rosen.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Play action here with Rosen. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So look now at the Miami offense.
I remember when Laramie Tunsil was coming out of Mississippi and I was evaluating him for the draft in 2016. I ended up writing down a description that I tended to like, and I'm going to use it here now. He's got feet like a receiver. He's got a body like an offensive lineman and hands like a boxer. Put it all together, you got a heck of an offensive lineman.
Rosen now off the bootleg. Hine, and he's going to be driven down.
The start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Ed Oliver providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. From the gun, it's Allen. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. quickly now, here's the Buffalo offense.
And this team is coming in off of their open week, and to me, a pretty good time to have it, too, because it's pretty much right in the middle of the season. So I would think that they'll be pretty well rested and ready to go for the second half of the season. But even more importantly, they got a little bit of a mental break as well. That's going to help, too.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Allen throwing again. And he comes back with one complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 16.
I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Look at the starters defensively for the Dolphins. They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Again, they'll throw with Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
Blazing start. 4 plays, 4 passes, and look at him now, 1st and goal. Pretty good start.
Already down there. Now, they just don't want to settle for 3. See, and he fights his way into the end zone for a Bills touchdown. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. The Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ed Oliver picks up his second sack of the afternoon. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bills will take over at their own 20. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in this spot.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Christian Wilkins gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Another try after the first down sack. Allen. Throwing left side, it's complete. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
On third down, Manning. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Now on first down. Finding Knox there, complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series, they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Allen gonna throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
After the interception, here's Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ed Oliver able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. The dump-off gets him only 1, and now you're looking at a 3rd down. Third and long here for Rosen. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here's Matt Hawk now, as he's on to punt for Miami. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked out and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
In his own end zone, it's Allen. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to get this all the way out past the 20. A good pickup there, 21 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On first down, Allen. Wide open receiver, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Mike, 319. 55. Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. And here we go.
Here's Allen on first and 10. Working the middle here, that's complete to Knox, the tight end. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on the dump off. It's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's second and 10. Allen to throw once more. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 30. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Allen going to come to the line here, 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Allen now looks to throw. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Allen again here on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 13-yard line.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you get a heck of a tight end candidate. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And he is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Manning. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the 1st down as he's tackled at the 2. Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up 1st downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Okay, just like that. Just like that.
2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. And he'll get in! Touchdown, Buffalo! A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Bills will add on to their lead. And always a good 1st half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Josh Rosen heading back out, the focus of our players' spotlight, and he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been... The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Sack, baby! Sack, baby!
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Quick hitter here, it's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here's Matt Hawk now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. 51 yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bills getting set to go. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Now Allen. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Throwing now is Allen. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked up by Xavier Howard. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be how many... game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
Draw play. This is Hines. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. On 2nd and 9, Rosen. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. And his kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
This one fielded at the 5. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thank you very much.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on Here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
It's a foot race. A big play here for the Bills. 45 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Snap comes at 1, and it's Allen. Over the middle, complete. That's Manning. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down. With his size coming out of the backfield, usually takes more than an arm tackle to get him down. That's why they like to get him involved in the passing game.
No doubt about it. You saw him running that angle route there and catching the ball. And with his size, not often thought to have hands, but we're hearing that more and more. Guys are doing a better job of catching the ball at any size coming out of the backfield because they need to be a full part of the offense.
On 2nd down now, it's Manning. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Allen operating from the gun. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down, it's Hines, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here's Rosen to throw. This is Coleman with the ground. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. They'll run on first down. Hines, and a loose football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Here's Allen following the fumble recovery. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll start on the ground with Hines. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Rosen looking to throw. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying it is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They run with Hines. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, they still have time to get them established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
From the 29, Rosen. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. His pass caught at the 4. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. On 2nd down now, it's Hines fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And here's Allen to throw again. And he whips that one incomplete there.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. He's going to rifle. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And touchdown. Tyreek Hill taking it goal line to goal line, 100 yards. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, being on second half no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field, and they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Rosen will throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Call it no gain on the dump off, and it's 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. On the delay, here's Hines. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that first down gain of 8. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed a push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game. In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. To the air, Allen. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
On 3rd down, Allen. Wide open receiver, complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Now Allen again. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Dawson Knox, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. They had the lead in the fourth, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the second extra point he's missed so far. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. Things are just going... From bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the end.
The tackle occurred in the end zone. Result of the play is
So free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. Here's Hyde.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? Best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Bills on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Allen to throw it. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
The Bills send the punter out. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. Back onto the field comes the offense as we zero in on Josh Rosen. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to left.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. They might want to mix something up defensively because he's been shredding them a bit, hasn't he?
That he has, and even with all the changes that you know are going on the defensive side of the ball, he's still finding ways to get open, finding the right spots, and the delivery's been pretty good too.
He's over 100 yards, has the 1 touchdown score to this point. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Sheds another, and another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And to give this time to the tailback. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They'll keep it on the ground. Manning. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Let's go, team. Big series right here.
On 2nd down, it's Manning. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game.
Hey, check my ready. Watching you 5. I'm trying to collect.
Allen from the gun on 3rd down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
No, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for Buffalo, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.